If you're thinking about starting a business partnership or you're already in one, this might be the most important video you watch, because I've been a business attorney now for nearly 20 years and I've seen how these things go down. And they go down most of the time like marriages and a nasty business divorce. And when they go down, you go down as well, because your business partner, who you thought would make you millions, can become one of your biggest enemies and one of your worst liabilities. Frozen bank accounts, friendships ruined, businesses dismantled, your life upside down, and you totally forgot to protect your personal and your business life because you were so blindsided with the millions that your partnership was going to make. I've seen this over and over, and let me tell you from my experience, partnership disputes are some of the nastiest, most emotional cases in the courthouse. They can be more vicious than divorces because it's your money, your clients, and your reputation all on the line. And I've been in the middle of these cases. I've subpoenaed phone records, emails, DMs, bank statements. I've pulled apart entire businesses to find fraud and misconduct, and there usually always is. And as a lawyer, I learned the 10 biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make when it comes to getting into a business partnership. And these are the 10 mistakes you want to learn from me, not the hard way. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to legally bulletproof your partnership by walking you through the 10 biggest mistakes I've seen entrepreneurs make and how to protect yourself using the right contract provisions, the right strategies, and the right systems before it's too late. Because once you ink up that partnership deal, you've created permanent legal rights. So let's break it down, the top 10 business partnership mistakes and how to avoid them. So mistake number 1 is rushing into a partnership without vetting and having a trial run. Now, most people make this mistake at the very beginning, and it's an amateur mistake that gets most entrepreneurs. They meet someone smart, exciting, aligned, they fall into business love, and they jump into bed with them fast. But here's the real truth. Once you create legal duties, you can't casually undo them. This is like getting legally married without dating. Once you're partners, you have fiduciary duties that you owe to each other. That means loyalty, care, and legal obligations that courts take very seriously. And the only way to unwind that is in a courtroom. So what do I recommend? Make sure your business partner is vetted. And before formally entering into a partnership, work together for some time. Give yourself 60 to 90 days to actually work with the person. Take on a test project. Make decisions together. See how you respond. See how compatible you are, and look for red flags. This is battle-tested advice I wish I followed when I was younger, because it's better to walk away early than to try to untangle a legal partnership in court with your entire business exposed before everyone. Now, mistake number 2 is not having a written partnership agreement. This one gets people every single time, and no matter how sophisticated the entrepreneur may be, they love to fall victim to this mistake over and over. They say we're friends or we trust each other. Let's just go for it and deal with the paperwork later. But when the money shows up or the stress hits or one person stops pulling their weight, that's when the cracks show. That's when the pressure builds. And that's when spouses start to chatter in their ears. And if you don't have a written agreement, then the law has to step in. And the law doesn't care about your livelihood. Every state has default partnership laws that apply to LLCs and things. That means that there's no agreement. The court will decide who owns what, who controls what, and how to split the business. And that almost never works in your favor. You'll never be happy with the court's decision. No one is. So what's the solution? A real partnership agreement. One that defines ownership, duties, contributions, voting rights, dispute resolution, and exit plans. One drafted by an experienced business attorney who understands your business and can mentor you as to how to operate the partnership, looking out for you personally and not your partner, who can turn on you at any time. And now to mistake number 3, and this mistake is guaranteed to set up a failing business. Here's how most partnership fights start. I thought you were doing that. No, that's your job. So when the responsibilities aren't clear, resentment builds, blame spreads, and soon trust breaks down. Not having clearly defined roles and responsibilities is a recipe for disaster. Fix this up front. Define the roles and responsibilities clearly, just like a job title. So when you're negotiating, set out the roles and responsibilities and put them in the partnership agreement. It's necessary to hold partners accountable, to give a meaningful structure, and to make sure that no one plays the blame game down the road when things go sideways, and they always do. Now, don't make mistake number 4. You need to plan for what happens when things go wrong. You need control. Even if you don't want it, you need some control to protect yourself. And even a guy like Mr. Beast got this wrong. What if your partner starts to spend money irresponsibly? starts signing contracts you didn't approve, or disappears for weeks. Worse yet, they won't show you the books or any of the accounts. Now, without control provisions, you're helpless, and your only option is hiring an expensive lawyer to get you into court as soon as possible, just to argue to a judge why your partner should give you some control when you never included it in your agreement. So the solution is to legally bulletproof your partnership agreement by adding voting rules for major decisions, spending limits, and an approval process, as well as clauses that allow for partner removal if they're acting against the business's best interests or in a fraudulent manner. And I've seen this and had to use this several times. Control isn't about micromanagement. It's about protecting your rights and your ability to take over when your partner becomes an enemy. Now on to mistake number 5, the inevitable, inescapable conclusion that just like life, every partnership ends through growth, sale, disagreement, or disaster. So have you had that discussion with your potential partner because your vision and their vision may be different on how things end, and that's okay. But the one question you really need to ask yourself is, will your partnership end on your terms or the court's terms? Because if you don't have a buy-sell agreement or exit clauses, separating becomes expensive, emotional, and legally brutal. You'll need to prove valuations, and you could spend years in court with the lawyers getting rich while your business gets poor. So what's the solution? Always plan years ahead for your exit. Have an experienced mentor who can help you visualize the exit and how to get you there. Make sure your partnership agreement has buyout triggers, valuation methods, dissolution terms, transfer restrictions, and rights of first refusal if a partner is selling and you want their share of the pie before outsiders get it. So plan your breakup at the beginning when things are good, not during the messy divorce where some random judge will arbitrarily conclude how much money your business is worth. Now, mistake number 6, I've seen too many times. It makes sense that you want to get rich with your friends and your family, but honestly, mixing friendship and business without clear boundaries is a disaster waiting to happen. When friends go into business together, it's usually all good vibes until the money gets real. Then disagreements feel personal. Accountability gets avoided and boundaries get blurry. And now the emotions take over. So the only solution is, whether it's your mom, sibling, or best friend, treat them like a business partner if they are in fact a business partner. Use contracts, define roles, set meeting schedules, hold each other accountable professionally, and have boundaries that will preserve the friendship and only serve to help the business grow. Mistake number 7 is also a business killer because it stops your business in its tracks. If you have a dispute, you can't focus on your business, and if your contract doesn't say how to handle it, then you're headed to court, because that's the only place you can go. And now you're spending a lot of money on lawyers in a courtroom where strangers are going to make decisions about your business that you and your partner should have been able to make on your own. So remember, once the lawyers get involved, things get nasty and expensive. We can open up your business and probably your personal life along with it. As a litigator, I can subpoena your emails, phone, texts, bank records, internal notes, and I can question you about everything in your business. Would you like that? Even if you're the good partner and did nothing wrong, the fallout affects you directly. So to fix this, you better have a great indemnification provision in the event your partner engages in improper conduct and tries to blame you. And at a minimum, have a dispute resolution clause in your agreements that sets forth an internal complaint process, then an external process that starts with mediation and ends with arbitration. Keep it private, keep it cheaper, keep it controlled, and keep it out of a courtroom and out of a judge's hands. Trust me, you'll never like the business decisions that they make for you. None of my clients have. Mistake number 8 is forgetting that when you partner with someone, you're also partnering with their spouse. That's your third jealous partner who can become a challenger and an enemy very quickly. The spouse may envy your partner because you spend so much time with them. They might put doubt into your mind and affect your business decisions. And then if your partner gets divorced or passes away, and suddenly the spouse now has legal rights to the ownership. The spouse who you didn't like so much, and now you're sharing control with someone who never built the business with you. Someone with no value or skills to really add, but someone that has a legal claim to the business and can take it from you and can take it down overnight. So you need to fix this issue before it becomes a problem, and understand that when you enter a partnership, you're also partners with the spouse who will always be nosy nosy and curious and will likely cause problems. So make sure you have a spousal waiver, which restricts ownership transfer to a spouse unless you approve. You should control who's sitting at your business table, not some random judge who knows nothing about your business. Trust me. Mistake number 9 is a product of trusting too much. Partners know everything, your systems, your pricing, your strategy, your clients. You might be bringing the intellectual property to the business, so you need to protect it in case your partner turns into an enemy that you didn't see coming. And if you don't include a non-compete or a non-solicitation clause, there's nothing stopping them from using all of it to compete with you the moment they leave or even during the time that you operate the business together. Because although business owners owe each other fiduciary duties, the court will first look to a partnership agreement for certainty and the terms that the parties expressly agreed to. So the solution here is to legally bulletproof your partnership agreement by banning client solicitation, protecting trade secrets, and preventing your partner from using your intellectual property to compete against you in the future. Trust me, you're not being paranoid. You're thinking like a real winner now. And mistake number 10 is a real business killer that creates resentment between the parties. You create a logo, a framework, a course, a client system, and your partner claims they co-own it. But technically, you developed it before or alone without their input, and now it's a problem. If your IP isn't clearly assigned in writing, it could be considered joint property, and your partner can have a claim to it. That means they can sell it, license it, or block you from using it. This mistake has cost founders millions of dollars and is one of the best ways to make someone other than you rich. So the best solution here is to include an IP assignment clause in your partnership agreement. Define who owns what and who keeps what if the business splits. Because the last thing you want is your ex-partner running your business under a new brand that they control. I've seen it, and you don't want to see it too. The mistakes I've listed here cause entrepreneurs to lose when they don't plan ahead. I've seen it over and over representing founders and partners in these exact situations. I've seen what happens when things go bad. Years of work undone, private conversations made public, entire businesses split down the middle or devalued to nothing, and good people and families dragged through lawsuits they didn't deserve, never to be the same. So when I tell you to build your protection on the front end, it's because I've seen what happens on the back end. And it's not just messy, it's tragic. So to help you avoid all of these mistakes, I've created the Partnership Defense Checklist, a free guide that walks you through vetting your partner, structuring your agreement, building in the right legal protections, and avoiding the mistakes and traps that lead to court. Download it below and use it as your partnership starting point. And if you want to start legally bulletproofing your business and get the same partnership agreement I use with clients, plus my full playbook and system, you'll find it inside the Legally Bulletproof Academy. We have partnership agreements and partnership workshops where I walk you through every clause of the agreement, explain how to customize it, and teach you how to use it strategically. So you don't just get a battle-tested partnership agreement, you get the education on how to use it, and you get me, a 20-year business attorney to mentor you, answer any of your questions, and help you protect your business while you focus on your brand. This is the system I wish every founder had before they hired me as their lawyer in court. This is the system that would have saved them. But remember, even with the perfect partnership agreement, you might still be legally exposed, because if you're making offers that aren't legally bulletproof, it doesn't matter how strong your partnership is or how compliant your LLC is, you'll end up in court and you can have your business ruined by a client enemy who didn't achieve the outcome that you were promising them. So while you all probably know Alex Hormozi and his principles for making irresistible offers, I'm sure you don't know how to make those irresistible offers legally bulletproof. And that's what I'll show you in the next video. So you can click below and remember, be successful, be legally bulletproof.